What's up guys, Jay Marinak here, trainer and coach. Today I'm going to be teaching you everything you need to know about kettlebell swings. By the end of today's video, you're going to know exactly why we do swings, what muscles the swing is working. You're going to know a step-by-step, easy to follow process to master your kettlebell swing technique, what to do and what not to do. You're also going to know the only variations that you need to master to progress in your kettlebell training. So our primary goal with the kettlebell swing is to build lower body power and explosiveness along with conditioning and endurance. The main muscles being worked are the large muscles of the posterior chain of the backside of the body. So we're talking about hamstrings, glutes, and lower back. We need to understand first and foremost what kind of movement pattern the kettlebell swing is. So it's a hip hinge based movement pattern, not a squatting pattern. Remember, our primary goal is to build power and explosiveness. We need to think of this in terms of maybe a broad jump or a vertical jump. In order to jump as far as possible or to jump as high as possible, we are not going to go into a squatting pattern like so to get max height or max distance. What we're going to do is naturally go into some level of hip hinge where we're dropping the chest forward and pushing the butt back. This will then load up the hamstrings and glutes and allow us to then jump as far as possible or to jump as high as possible. So remember, we are not squatting, we are doing a hip hinge with the kettlebell swing. Now let's build this thing from the ground up. We're getting into our setup. The kettlebell is going to be roughly 12 inches in front of our body. We're going to take a shoulder width stance. Toes are pointed straight ahead. From here, I like to use the cue of karate chopping the waist, where we send the butt straight back with a slight bend of the knees to create that hip hinge. So you should feel somewhat of a stretch in those hamstrings. We then bend the knees, lower down, and then reach forward to grab the handle of our kettlebell. Now, this is where a lot of people get injured doing kettlebell swings, where they just don't create the proper tension necessary and the proper bracing to protect their backs throughout the kettlebell swing and just to be as efficient as possible. So we grab that kettlebell, we pull the lats down and back. So we need to create tension from where the lat inserts into the scapula all the way down into our spine, glutes, and hamstrings. We pull those lats down and back while tipping that kettlebell towards us. And notice I'm looking down and in front of the body. I'm not looking down in between my legs. I'm not looking up like this. Down and in front of the body, so I have a straight line from the top of my head all the way down into the base of my spine. So we pull those lats down and back. Then we take a breath in and bring air into the abdominals to really brace the core. Next, we have what's called the hike. So this is where we take the kettlebell from the floor into kettlebell swing position, where we take the kettlebell in between the legs. We never want to go up to our kettlebell, deadlift it up, and then start swinging the kettlebell. We always start with the kettlebell on the ground, going into the hike position, regardless of what kind of kettlebell swing variation we're doing. So we get into our setup, right? Pushing the butt back, bending the knees to reach down for our kettlebell. We then create tension through the lats by pulling the lats down and back and tipping that kettlebell towards us. We take that breath in to brace the core. From here, we're going to pull this kettlebell in between the legs. So just like a lineman would hike a football behind them, same exact thing, pulling that kettlebell in between the legs. Tight but loose grip on the kettlebell. What's very important about the hike is that we keep the kettlebell high in the crotch and we keep the forearms glued to the inner thighs. So if we let this kettlebell come too far down, it's going to pull us out of alignment. We're going to lose that tension in the lats and we're going to be way more susceptible to getting hurt with our swings. So I want you guys drilling the hike position over and over again until you get comfortable. Next, we have the hike to swing. So we start swinging the kettlebell a little bit. It's very important that you guys are starting with lightweight, really dialing in the technique before you start using heavier bells. So we start off with that karate chopping of the waist, bend the knees, grab the handle of our kettlebell, tip the handle towards us, engage in the lats, bringing tension into the glutes and hamstrings. We'll then take the breath in to brace the core. We're going to hike that kettlebell in between the legs. Forearms are glued to those inner thighs, high in the crotch. From here, we're going to aggressively extend our hip, bringing our hips to neutral. So I want you guys thinking about that vertical jump again. When we do our vertical jump, we are jumping straight up. We are not overarching to jump straight up. We're bringing the hips to neutral to power straight up. It's the same thing with our aggressive hip extension in the first part of that swing. So that aggressive hip extension is what propels this bell up to roughly chest level. We are not lifting and pulling that kettlebell up with the arms and the shoulders. Remember, tight but loose grip on the kettlebell. Arms are relaxed and slightly bent, and they're literally just acting as a guide, going along for the ride. Once we get to the top of that swing, where it's a weightless for a split second, we are exhaling at the top. We're then riding that kettlebell back down, forearms glued to the inner thighs, high in the crotch. We're then exhaling and lowering back down to the ground, resetting, taking that breath in, lowering back down to the ground. Breath in. So you guys are drilling the hike to swing as many times as you need to until you have this technique mastered. All right, so you guys have mastered the setup. You've mastered the hike. You've mastered the hike to swing. We're now going into continuous swings. Before we start to dive in and really tie this all together, I want to touch on that hip hinge again. We know for sure this is not a squat, right? We're not squatting down. The chest is not upright. We are hinging at the hips. However, there are different varying degrees of hip hinge. There's some people out there that swing and teach the swing like this, right? Where they're basically looking down in between their legs. They have somewhat of a flexed cervical spine like so. I'm not saying that's wrong. I just don't think that that's going to be practical if we're trying to be as explosive as possible and really create that power through the hips. We're also not going to create that by being very upright either. So I find that right in the middle is going to be the sweet spot. We're still creating a decent hip hinge. We're not here and we're not up here. Somewhere right in the middle, I think, is best. Now, when getting into our continuous swings, a couple of things we need to really make sure we have dialed in, especially as we start to progress, while we're really exhausted and fatigued using heavier bells. Okay, so it's so important that we never let our shoulders round. We always make sure the lats are pulled down and back, and we keep and maintain that tension. We need to keep the core braced. We need to make sure we are breathing properly throughout our swings, and we need to make sure we're never cranking our neck like this. We're always keeping that straight line from the top of our head down into our spine. All right, so we karate chop the waist, tip the bell. We're going to then hike the bell, aggressively extend the hips. Arms are relaxed, just acting as a guide. We are breathing out and exhaling as we get to that weightlessness in the swing. We are then riding back down into that hike position. We're taking a breath in through the nose, bracing the core in this hike position, and then aggressively extending the hips again, exhaling at the top. All right, so we karate chop the waist, tip the bell, breath in. All the power is coming from the hips. Now when we finish, we are coming back down to that starting position. I never want to see you guys finish your reps and just sloppily lower the kettlebell back down. From start to finish, we are dialed in. So we're here, we finish that last rep, lower back down to that starting position. Now we talk about swing variations. There are three main variations that we need to master in order to progress in our kettlebell training and to even get into position to do other effective kettlebell exercises. So we went over number one, the most foundational in the single kettlebell swing. Now we're talking about the double kettlebell swing. So all the same technique principles from our traditional single kettlebell swing are going to apply to the double swing with just a few minor differences. It's going to just feel a little bit different as well. So the main difference between the two is going to be the width of our stance, especially if we're using cast iron belts that increase in size as we increase the weight. We just need a little bit more space to fit both kettlebells in between the legs. while maintaining a good, safe hike position high in the crotch. So we start off, kettlebells 12 inches in front of the body. I like the handles of the kettlebells to be internally rotated slightly or turned in slightly. Karate chop the waist, bend the knees, grab the kettlebells, tip those kettlebells towards us. We're going to maintain that slight internal rotation as we hike. When we extend the hips, we're going to bring that grip neutral. So the handles of those kettlebells are pointed straight ahead, arms are bent, slightly relaxed, tight but loose grip on the kettlebells. We then ride the kettlebells back down, slight internal rotation in the hike position, extend into that neutral hand position. All right, so karate chop the waist, tip the bells, breath in, brace the core. Lower the bells back down with control. And for our last variation, we have the single arm kettlebell swing. I'm also going to be teaching you the hand-to-hand single arm swing. As we're working one arm or one side of the body, we also need to be able to switch arms or switch sides of the body safely, effectively, and smoothly, which is why we teach both. Now, same technique principles are going to apply from our other swing variations into the single arm swing. With that being said, the single arm swing is more challenging to learn. It takes more practice. It requires more coordination. Now, the golden rule with the single arm swing, the hand that is not swinging, that's not holding the kettlebell, has to mimic the other arm. It has to follow that arm and follow the kettlebell. All right, so when we go into this hike position, the arm is straight with the hand holding the kettlebell. This arm's also going to be straight. We extend the hips. We have a slight bend of the arm. It's slightly relaxed as we go into the swing. The other arm is doing the same thing, following that kettlebell. So we take that breath in. Like so. So we karate chop the waist, reach down for the kettlebell. Hand starts in front because we're following the kettlebell. We're mimicking the kettlebell hand. Lower back down with control. Now we go into our hand-to-hand swing, same technique principles are going to apply. However, we're switching hands and we're not just letting go of the kettlebell and then trying to re-grab with the opposite hand. We are literally guiding that kettlebell. So both hands are pretty much on the kettlebell at the same time, briefly at one point before we go into that other side. So make sure you're not dropping your kettlebell through the floor or denting your floor or hurting your kettlebell, right? So we're here, take that breath in. Lower back down to the ground. All right, guys, there you have it. A full masterclass on the kettlebell swing. Let me know in the comments how you're doing with your swings and let me know which tip helped you the most. If you're looking to level up your kettlebell training, you're looking to apply what you've learned today, I have hundreds of kettlebell workouts inside my training app. I'm going to give you 7 days completely free of full unlimited access to the app. Just tap the first link in the description of this video.